Hi, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and this is another Tales from Midlist Author installment. This time around, what I wanted to discuss was writing outside of your comfort zone in order to improve in order to improve yourself as a writer. I'm primarily known for writing the urban fantasy genre. I write a series called The Tome of Bill, which is primarily comedy horror. I also delve into the horror domain a little bit. What not too many people do know is that I have a few books out under a pseudonym, Cole Vance, which are a bit more risque smut. So the question there is, why? You know, urban fantasy, erotica. I mean, they're not as far away as YA and erotica, but why do it? Is it something I enjoy reading? Is it something I like, I have a secret stash of or so? And the truth of the matter is no. I don't read a lot of romance, a little bit here and there. I try to keep my mind open to all genres with regards to that. Um, but really what it came down to was growing as a writer. It kind of started off as a challenge. One of the boards I frequent, somebody said, hey, why don't you pick a genre that you are horrifically uncomfortable with and just crank out a story, which was a decent challenge. But my thoughts were, well, why do I just want to crank out a story? As a writer, I should always be cranking out the best story I can. So I made it my personal challenge to say, write in a genre that I'm not comfortable with, using words and language that I'm not. And for anybody who's read me, I have no problem with salty language. My works are suffused with with curse words, shit, fuck, whatever. But reading, doing a little research into the erotica genre, there's a lot of language there that is stuff that that I can't see myself under normal circumstances using without giggling like a 12-year-old boy. So the goal was, one, take that away, take that power away, bring it into my comfort zone. But two, the goal was, once I'm there, put out a good story, which really should be any writer's goal. And the truth of the matter is, it worked. One of my books, Necromantic, I'm extraordinarily proud of, because not only is it smutty as can be, there's a lot of raunchy sex in it. I think it's pretty good raunchy sex, just my 2 cents. But I also think it's a damn good story, where if you were to remove the sex scenes, you still actually have a really good plot there that can stand on its own. And so the end result there was putting together a story that I wasn't comfortable with, and by the end of it, being comfortable with it and also being incredibly proud of the story. So what is really I guess the moral here? The moral here is not that if you're not an erotica writer to start picking that. The goal is pick something you're not comfortable with and look into that. For example, I know plenty of people, they're not comfortable at all reading horror. Horror freaks the living crap out of them, which is understandable. I mean, I'm a little desensitized. I read about the monster under the bed and then turn off the lights and go to sleep. Other people, they read about the monster under the bed and those lights are on all night. But if you're one of those people, you're writing YA, maybe you're writing romance, write yourself a horror story, I'd say. Why? Because maybe at the end of it, you won't be as afraid of those monsters under the bed, those concepts. And the truth of the matter is, now you've taken something that before was taboo to you, something that you look at and said, no, I can't do that, and now you can. And that's really how you grow as a writer. I mean, quite frankly, myself, go back a couple months, think words like, cock, pussy, oh, her dripping clitoris as I pushed my pulsating manhood deeper into her. Stuff like that, is, once again, it's you cue the Beavis and Butthead laughter. Now it's just words. That power is gone, and that's one more genre to my arsenal. Next up, maybe YA under a different pseudonym. But the bottom line is, writing in your comfort zone, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people spend their entire careers there. But it's never a bad idea to branch out a little bit, even if you don't sell it, to put together something there to once again grow as a writer, because once again you open other doors for yourself, and that's really what it's about. Continually opening doors, because this is a very competitive industry, and likewise, you never know what's going to be a hit or miss. You could play around in a different genre, put it out there. Maybe nobody cares, or maybe it blows through the roof, and suddenly you have a whole new revenue stream. So that's pretty much what I have to say on that matter. It's a very good writing exercise, and who knows, you might actually come out with something that you're exceptionally proud of. So that's this installment. My name is Rick Gualtieri, and you can find me at www.rickgualtieri.com, and I hope to speak to you soon in another Tales from a Midlist Author.